Okay, so we're looking at finding the exact value of the tangent of the arc cosine of 2/3. We let theta equal the arc cosine of 2/3, and theta we know has to be between 0 and pi. So that means theta is either in quadrant 1 or 2. And since the cosine of theta is positive, we know that theta has to be in quadrant number 1. So now we're going to go on to the next page. And I've gone ahead and drawn the angle. So theta is an angle in quadrant 1. Okay? And so the picture looks like this. We know that the cosine of theta is equal to 2/3. And in general, the cosine is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And so that's why I set up my picture like this. Next, we're going to figure out the unknown length. We're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So 2 squared plus y squared has to equal 3 squared. So that tells me 4 plus y squared has to equal 9. So y squared will equal 5. And so y is equal to the square root of 5. So we found the unknown length. Now we want to find the tangent of the arc cosine of 2/3. So remember, we said the arc cosine of 2/3 was going to be theta. So we need to find the tangent of angle theta. And the way we find tangent is by doing opposite over adjacent. And so the tangent of the angle is going to equal the square root of 5 over 2. Okay. And then the next problem is pretty similar. We want to find the exact value of the cosine of the inverse sine of -3/5. So we'll let theta equal the inverse sine of -3/5. And we know from the definition that theta must be between -pi/2 and +pi/2. So theta has to either be in quadrant 1 or quadrant 4. And since the sine of theta is equal to -3/5, so since the sine is negative, theta has to be in quadrant number 4. So I've drawn my picture like this. We know that the sine of theta is equal to -3/5. And in general, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. I've set it up so that the hypotenuse is 5 and the y value is -3, and we don't know what x is. So we need to figure out what x is. We know that x squared plus -3 squared has to equal 5 squared. So x squared plus 9 has to equal 25. That tells me that x squared equals 16. So x could either be 4 or -4, but because we're looking at quadrant 4, x has to be positive. So x is equal to 4. We found the unknown length. Next, we're going to find the cosine of the inverse sine of -3/5. So we're finding the cosine of angle theta. And in general, cosine is equal to the side adjacent over the hypotenuse. So we get 4 over 5. Oops, 4 over 5. Did anybody have any questions about any of this? I wanted to go back up and look very quickly at the last one. We knew that y squared had to equal 5. That means that y could either be the square root of 5 or minus the square root of 5, but based on the quadrant, it's going to be positive. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.